Hey everybody, it's Wade here. Hope you are doing awesome. And if you are in the Northern Hemisphere and getting ready for summer coming up sometime soon, we're going to look at how you can prepare yourself this spring so that by the time summer comes, you have let go of the things you don't need to be doing and you're able to enjoy as much of your summer as possible. Now, for a lot of people, summer is a time to be able to relax, to get warmer weather, to spend time with kids, to downshift. Maybe it's a time when a lot of your clients are downshifting anyway, so you can downshift and you're not going to miss out on a lot of business, or you just want to make sure you enjoy life. What we're going to talk about today is the time audit that's going to instantly show you what to eliminate from your schedule. Now, something that's so critical to understand, and it's a point I learned from Tim Ferriss in his book, The 4 Hour Work Week, is that there's a difference between what you eliminate versus what you automate or delegate. So there are certain things that need to be done and somebody needs to do them, but that somebody's not you. Well, we need to automate those or delegate those or outsource those or whatever word you want to put on those. But what I'm talking about today are things that nobody should be doing. You shouldn't be doing them. You shouldn't be paying somebody to do them. These things are simply not productive for you. And we can look at this from a personal perspective, from a business perspective, and the exercise I'm going to show you today, you can use in either of those areas, or you can just make one big group and start from there. So the first thing to do is list all the activities you perform in a week. Before we look at what you're going to eliminate, we need to know what you're doing. Now, this doesn't need to be so granular as to say, I brush my teeth or I take a shower. Hopefully you're doing that on a regular basis. But a lot of the activities that maybe you haven't thought of that seem ritualistic. I look at my email. I follow up on certain things with customers. I do accounts receivable or whatever it might be. Write those things down, list all the activities you perform in a week, and this is going to help us get a sense, and you get a sense of where you're investing your time. So many people are not tuned in to where they're investing their time, and it makes it harder to be as effective as possible, mainly because when we're not aware of what we're doing, we really are blind to be able to even look at what we're able to improve on. Sometimes if you have a company and you bring on a new person, that person will come in and they'll have a new set of eyes and they'll see things that nobody else sees and they'll seem so brilliant. And yet they're coming in with simply a fresh set of eyes and allows you to see things that you can't normally see. Once you have written down all the activities you perform in a week, next to each of those, if it's a spreadsheet, you can type it in. If it's a piece of paper, you can write it down. Estimate how many hours per week do you engage in each of these activities. And it could be a quarter hour or a half hour or an hour or 5 hours, whatever it is. But we want to use math here. We don't want to just say, well, I spend some time or no time. We really need to get granular and specific with our numbers here if we're going to improve our time. And this is one of those things where if you look at it from a non-concern point of view, or you're really not that worried about it, it's easy to let 5 minutes slip here, 10 minutes slip here, 20 minutes slip here. Next thing you know, you're losing an hour or 2 hours a day. That's kind of how a lot of people lose time to social media. They just keep filling up their moments with it. And then next thing you know, their screen time is saying, wow, you spent 2 hours or 3 hours or 5 hours a day. And all these little moments do add up. So estimate how many hours per week you do each of these activities. Now, take your list of the activities you perform every week and circle the activities that are both high impact and high income. And what I mean by that is high impact means it's having a positive effect on somebody you serve. It could be someone in your personal life. It could be that it makes your life better for your loved ones or your family members or your friends. It could be somebody that you serve in a business profession. It could be it helps your best clients. But high impact means in some way that person is having their life or their business or something that's important to them shifted in a positive way because of what you're doing. And high income, this is where now this does stay business related, that person or persons realizes that it's high impact for them. And because of that, they pay you or invest with your company or your business at a large level. It could be that they do it on an annual basis, or they're with you for years, or it's a one-time investment. So again, circle the activities that are high impact and high income. We definitely want to keep these, and eventually we'll look back at these. We want to really invest more of your time here. Now what I want you to do is on that list, draw a line through all of your low impact, low income activities. So again, look at that list that you made of all the activities you perform in a week. And for every activity that is low impact and low income, draw a line through that. Now, again, we're going to need to make sure at some point which of these can be let go versus which of them need to be done by somebody else. But at this point, we're at least getting clear that anything that's low impact and low income is something that you're not going to be doing in the long run. We might need to eventually get help to make sure it gets done by somebody, but bottom line, this is on the chopping block to know that you're not going to be doing this over time. And now what I want you to do is all of the items you have on that low impact, low income list, I want you to stop doing these activities for a week. I don't even want you to give them to somebody. Just stop doing them for a week and see what happens. And if nothing happens, go a month without doing them. And then if nothing happens, drop them forever. So some of these things you'll say, Wade, I know I can't drop these. This is customer follow-up. It's part of our process. It's part of our SOPs, our standard operating procedures. Great. Well, those things you delegate. But I'm going to suggest to you that if it's part of your standard operating procedures and what you normally do, it should not be low impact, low income. It should at least be medium to high impact. And it might be lower income or medium income. But again, just because it's not high impact, high income, doesn't mean that it has to be low impact, low income. A lot of the business things that your team takes care of might be sort of medium impact, medium income, and over time it builds a business. A lot of your residual business, if you have any sort of business model like that, are going to be things that don't necessarily require your attention. And maybe they don't make the highest impact in the world, but they make a high enough impact where your customer keeps paying for that. Not everything is going to be transformational for your customers. Sometimes it is transactional, but it's profitable for everybody, and that's okay. But again, let's look at those things that you put that are low impact and low income, and anything you know that if it involves only you, or you feel safe that, you know what, I could stop doing this for a week. Let me see what happens. If nothing goes wrong, go another month, or at least a month total. And then if nothing happens, those activities probably aren't as important as you once thought they were. Clear out your schedule, drop them forever or until they come back to, I'd say, haunt you or visit you or whatever it is. But for the most part, so much of what we're afraid of that's going to really hurt us isn't. It's just stuff that we could be letting go of very easily. We'd free up a lot of time and energy, and we could use those resources to do better things. So from an opportunity cost standpoint, it's not a question of whether or not that activity is completely meaningless. But at the end of the day, if it's low impact and low income, and you could be doing high impact, high income work, or your team members could be doing medium impact, medium income work, we'd rather have them doing that. You can't do everything, so we want to focus our time and energy on the most impactful stuff. So to sum up, what we're going to do is audit your time by listing the activities you perform in a week, estimate how many hours you perform doing each of them, circle the high impact, high income activities, draw a line through the low impact, low income activities, and there will be some that have neither a circle nor a line. And then for the ones that you've drawn a line through that are low impact, low income, stop doing those activities for a week. And if nothing explodes or blows up, stop doing those for a month. And if still nothing explodes or blows up, stop doing those forever. I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions or thoughts on this, as always, please let me know. I look forward to helping you create greater impact and income in your life and for the lives of your team members, your loved ones, and all the people you serve. I look forward to helping you do that in less time so you can fully enjoy your family, your friends, your freedom, and your life. Let's get ready for summer. This is one of the best activities to help you do that.